Okay, hi everybody. As you jump on, welcome. I'm just setting this up. Hopefully you can see and hear me okay. It is Meredith here. All right, I'm just going to double check that we are live, and we are, which is awesome. Okay, if you're joining us via Zoom, give me a comment in the comment box. I won't be checking comments as I go tonight once I get started, but I will be able just to see that people are jumping on, which is awesome, and that I just want to check that you can hear me okay. We'll get started in about 30 seconds time. I'll just see that. Can you hear me okay there? I see Johanna's joined me. Diane and Linda, if you can let me know, just put in the comments box, that would be fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Monday night. Welcome to our webinar about toxic mold. So as people jump on, I'll just explain. Some people are joining us via Zoom, which is fantastic. And we're also streaming this live into our private group. It's called the Dream Catchers on Facebook. And so for those of you that are watching it in our Facebook group, know that, of course, this will be able for you to watch on replay in the group forevermore. And for the people that are watching this on Zoom right now, I am recording it. It will be available for about a week, this recording, to listen to or to watch back. There is going to be a lot of information shared that I hope will be very valuable to you. And so welcome everybody, even if you're watching the replay or listening to it. I'm so glad that you have joined us. My name, very quickly, is Meredith Olin. I live on the hinterland of the Gold Coast. I'm a mum of two. I have been using Young Living's products now for, it's into my 11th year. And when I started, I was very skeptical about essential oils and what they were capable of. I had used some other brands, and of course hadn't had the benefits that I did with Young Living. Of course, it was only through learning about what these could do, how to use them for myself and my family over time, that really helped. And I come from a teaching background. I was a high school teacher for 12 years. And so this is what I do. I put together information to benefit other people. And I've really been gobsmacked actually by the response that we've had. Obviously, so many people are dealing with this issue right now. And once I started researching about it, the more I learned about it, I felt that it had to be shared. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you're going to love tonight and be empowered by the information I'm about to share with you. So a quick disclaimer, this information is for educational purposes only. The individual results may vary, and the information is not a substitute for medical counselling with a licensed health professional. Tonight is not about diagnosing or treating illness. I will definitely be mentioning some health issues that can result from mold, but it isn't about, diagnosing people or anything like that. All right. The reference book, by the way, and I'll mention this, and I will mention it again at the end, is a fantastic one called Nature's RX, A Breakthrough Discovery by Dr. Edward Close and his wife, Jacqueline. Okay, and I'll share a bit more about their story as we go as well. So this is a book actually that I ordered specifically from the US. And when I discovered that there was so much, how widespread the mold problem was here where I live and in the area that I live, I asked in a global group, actually, look, where can I get some, the best information possible? And I was referred to this resource. And so I ordered the book, and that is where predominantly the information that you're going to receive is from tonight. Okay, let's get started. Let's see if my screen will do what I want it to. Fantastic. So what we'll discuss tonight: illnesses associated with mold exposure, why it's important to be proactive, why we can't use bleach or vinegar, or just use those things and expect that it will be completely sorted. The science behind what we're going to talk about, a step-by-step protocol, how to choose the right diffuser. This is very important in terms of for mold treatment, and what you'll need and options to choose from. So at the end, I will run through some different options if you do want to order anything that we talk about tonight. That is, you don't have to. This is simply information for you to consider. I know some of you that are already watching this already know about some of the products that I'll talk about and why they're so amazing. Some of you may have never heard of essential oils before. Some of you may have never heard of Thieves before, and we will be talking about Thieves, which is a young living blend of oils. So please know that no matter where you're at, whether you're a total beginner and have no idea about essential oils, or whether you do know about it, this is going to be valuable information for you. So health issues that have been shown to be caused or aggravated by mold, in particular toxic mold, include, and there is the list: asthma, allergies, colds, chronic coughing, sinus problems, memory loss, chronic fatigue, dermatitis, fibromyalgia, SIDS, bleeding lungs, hives, brain hemorrhaging, nosebleeds, lung disease, headaches, cancer, central nervous system problems, learning difficulties, nausea, earaches, ear infections, sleep disorders, vertigo, and vomiting. And I read that out because some people may be listening to this rather than watching. But know, please, that this isn't the entire list that I could have given you. This is literally what I could fit on the slide. And I don't want to, bore you with all the details about how many things are associated with it. But there are a lot of things that are associated with mold issues. So some early warning signs of mold exposure. And again, we'll talk about as we go the fact that mold exposure can happen before we even see mold. So let us know if you're if you're watching from our Facebook group, pop it in the comments below if you have had any of these issues, or you know anybody that's had these issues and they haven't yet been able to perhaps sort them out completely. Allergies, cough and chronic colds, sinusitis, ear infections, fever, dermatitis, headaches, general fatigue or malaise, dizziness, flu-like symptoms, nausea, nosebleeds. So if you know anybody that has had these issues and it hasn't yet been explained, or the root problem being found, this could well be something that is a contributing factor or the factor for them. So Gary and Mary Young, who are actually the founders of the company that I'm going to be talking about tonight, Young Living, have an incredible story, and it would be remiss of me not to share this story with you. So sit back. By the way, I have to say, when I originally planned to do this webinar, I thought it would take about half an hour to cover everything. I was mistaken. I'm going to say you're going to be with me for about an hour. So sit back, get a drink of water or some kind of beverage, and listen, because this is going to blow your mind. So this is a picture, by the way. It's a bit blurry, I know, because I had to find it off the internet, but this is a picture of Gary and Mary with their boys when they were younger. Gary Young has passed away since, but they have two boys, Jacob and Joseph Young. So let me convey this story, and I'm going to read straight from the book that I mentioned earlier by Dr. Edward Close and Jacqueline Close. In November 2005, Gary was working in the jungles of Ecuador when he received a phone call from his wife, Mary, to come home to the United States as quickly as possible because their youngest son, Joseph, was in the hospital with a very high fever, and the doctors could not figure out what was wrong. Gary made the fastest trip out of the jungle ever. Racing to the nearest airport, he caught the first flight home. When he finally reached the hospital, he found his beloved son Joseph emaciated, near comatose and unresponsive. The 18-month-old had a fever pushing beyond 104 degrees, which is about 40 degrees Celsius. And he had been this way for 4 days. The doctors told Gary that they were mystified. They had had his son on high doses of antibiotics, but blood work showed the boy's white blood cell count was soaring. The antibiotics were having no effect. The doctors were running every test they could think of, but nothing explained what was happening or indicated how they should proceed. Gary had been in Ecuador training in surgical procedures with the world-renowned surgeon, Dr. Edgar Rodas, Dean of the Medical School at the University of, I think it's Azuay in Ecuador, and donating his time and support to the Sinterend Andes Foundation. Gary and Dr. Rodas were documenting the effects of therapeutic-grade essential oils for pre-op and post-operative care for inclusion in a technical paper they were authoring together. Gary also had a strong background and many years of experience in clinical work. So when the US doctors said they could not figure out what was causing Joseph's illness, Gary brought in his microscope and began doing blood work himself. The MD in charge of Joseph's care brought in forms for Gary to sign, authorising a spinal tap on Joseph to check for spinal meningitis. When asked if the MD had done any of the non-invasive tests for spinal meningitis, the MD told Gary that this was the only test they had not already tried. Gary asked the MD to check Joseph's sensitivity to light, which he knew was a non-invasive way to check for spinal meningitis. He asked the MD to do other non-invasive tests, but the MD felt that it would be a waste of time. Gary had already done these non-invasive tests himself and was certain in his heart that Joseph did not have spinal meningitis. So to protect his infant son from unnecessary risk, Gary refused to sign the papers for the spinal tap. The MD, having nothing else to offer, said that if the spinal tap would not be allowed, then there was nothing more that they could do for the boy. Gary then said, "Please let me take my son home." The MD agreed and released the boy to his mother and father, no doubt expecting that he was sending the child home to die. Moving their darling son Joseph back to their home in the mountains of Utah, the couple cared for him in their own way, using essential oils and prayer, hoping and trusting that God would guide them and somehow effect a turnaround in Joseph's condition. Once home, Gary immediately started Joseph on 25,000 units of ascorbic acid, vitamin C, a day. Still not knowing what was causing Joseph's problem, Gary deeply prayed for God's guidance and direction. Then, using a urethra catheter inserted in the small boy's colon, Gary inserted the following essential oils: myrrh, oregano, Melaleuca alternifolia, which is tea tree, and Eucalyptus globulus. After 2 hours, Gary inserted the essential oils into his son's colon again, and within 10 minutes of this second rectal insertion, little Joseph's fever broke. Gary continued this protocol, and within 5 days, little Joseph was up and walking again. Today, Joseph is as healthy and normal as any boy his age, full of energy and life. You would never guess that he had been so close to death. There are no signs of brain damage, nor motor nor sensory damage of any kind. And Joseph experienced no sensitivities to the oils. And I'm going to pause here and say, I have been to 6 of the farms globally, Young Living Farms worldwide, and I've met Joseph just briefly. Beautiful young man. I think he's about 19 or 20 now. And I would never have believed or guessed that they had gone through this until I read this story in this book. So returning to what the story is about, what happened. With Joseph rapidly returning to a normal state of health, Gary turned his attention to finding out what had caused his son to become so ill in the first place. After a great deal of research and more blood work, he learned that Joseph had been exposed to mould. They soon discovered black mould growing in their basement, the place where little Joseph had played on the floor for hours every day. Tracing the mould to the wall and a small bubble in the sheetrock, Gary tore out a section and found the spaces behind the sheetrock were heavily infested with black mould. Gary contracted a specialist in toxic black mould he found in Texas, who told Gary that if his child had indeed been exposed to toxic mould, it was a miracle that the boy had lived. After consulting with the mould expert, Gary learned that his home was heavily infested with the toxic, deadly black mould, Stachybotrys. It was growing in the carpet and behind the walls of his basement. The couple had the basement walls taken down to the studs. They took out the wood, sheetrock, plywood, everything that had a hint of mold infestation or water damage. They found the wood studs were rotten, eaten by the mold, so they went farther, taking the basement down to the footings. They found every leak and potential for moisture and repaired each and every one. Gary says his experiences in Ecuador using mega doses of essential oils for pre-op and post-operative care of surgical patients prepared him for what he had to do to help his beautiful young son, Joseph, return to the health unscathed by this attack of deadly toxic mold. Even with his 25 years of experience with essential oils, Gary said that he believed no one fully understands the complexity and miracle of essential oils. And Dr. Close also wrote that it happened at the very same time that Gary was learning about the amazing ability of essential oils to remove the mold from the body. Dr. Close was doing his own research that showed that the essential oils that Gary used to eliminate mold in his home did a better job at removing mold from buildings than anything else that was currently available. Neither of these two researchers knew about the other's efforts. So here, at the same time, in two different parts of the country, two highly skilled, highly trained individuals were learning quite independently of each other about the ability of these God-given essential oils and to solve the problems created by toxic mold. And whether by God's guidance, coincidence, serendipity, or scientific research, they both chose the very same blend of essential oils for removing mold from buildings. This story underlines a very important point. Mold spores are not visible to the human eye unless they form large supercolonies of spores and fruiting structures. The mold that was in Gary and Mary's home was mostly hidden from view, and only the bubbles or ripples in the surface of the sheetrock gave a hint that there might be a problem. So more than 50% of homes are believed to have mold, resulting in a 50 to 100% increase in respiratory problems, according to the studies performed by Harvard University and Johns Hopkins University. Anywhere there is dust, dirt, cellulose, including paper, wood, and cardboard, or any food sources, all you need is one mold spore, that should say spore, not sport, and moisture for mold to grow. Yet most people do not consider mold a serious threat. Mold spores are not visible, as I said before, to the human eye. They are microscopic. They are not visible until mold is not visible until it creates a super colony of fruiting structures, and there can be 10,000 spores per cubic meter in the air of a room, and you would not see them. So let's talk about mold in vehicles as well, because this is really important. Water damaged vehicles, flooded vehicles, and even vehicles that have been cleaned, but the carpets perhaps may not have been dried properly, can all be infested with mold, sometimes toxic mold. Our cars, trucks, SUVs, boats, horse trailers, all vehicles provide an opportune environment for mold growth and potentially intense exposure for mold. Research shows that many water damaged vehicles end up being sold in the used car market. You can protect yourself from buying a vehicle that may have been flooded or water damaged by following a few simple precautions. To avoid inadvertently buying a flood damaged car, it is important that you only buy from a reputable dealer, have a certified mechanic look for flood damage, and check the car's VIN number. And here you see on the screen some signs that a vehicle may have been flooded. So mildew, debris, and silts are in places where they would not normally be found. Rust on screws and other metal parts. Water stains, faded upholstery, and discoloration of seat belts, door panels, and flotation devices. Dampness in the floor and carpeting. Moisture on the inside of the instrument panel, and perhaps a moldy odor or an intense smell of bleach or deodorizer. So before we move on, some things to remember. You can still have a mold problem even if there is sufficient moisture and a source of food. Climate does not matter. You cannot see mold, I'm going to say it a few times, until super colonies of fruiting structures are formed, and you can have a mold problem even when you don't see or smell mold. You cannot smell mold until it enters the portion of its life cycle that produces microbial volatile organic compounds. That's MVOCs for short. And the best way for dealing with mold is to prevent mold from ever becoming a problem. And I share this because I did not realize that we actually had mold in our bedroom until I bought this book to research to help people. I was reading up about it, and then I realized, oh my gosh, maybe we have mold going on too. I did something that's called a cytoscan. My group know about this. If you're listening to this on Zoom and you're curious about what a cytoscan is, get in touch later. But I did a cytoscan. Mold came up as an issue for my husband and I, but not our kids. So I thought, right, it's got to be in our bedroom. And lo and behold, after a week away from holidays, when I came back, I found mold in our bedroom in a place that I would never have thought to look, because I didn't even think there was a mold problem, right? So it was obviously there for a while, and I didn't realize what the mold spores were. So let's talk about how we deal with it. So why can't I just use bleach? I have so many people that are using bleach or have said they've used bleach and it has not worked. So let's talk about it. Bleach, long recommended for cleaning moldy surfaces, compares poorly with most other mold eradication methods for the following reasons. Now, hopefully I'll say this right. Sodium hypochlorite, the active ingredient in bleach, is produced by infusing sodium hydroxide with chlorine gas, which is actually a deadly gas that killed thousands of soldiers before gas warfare was outlawed. So not good for our systems, right? Toxic. If bleach is accidentally mixed with an acid-containing cleaner, such as many toilet bowl cleaners, drain cleaners, and even lemon juice or vinegar, then deadly chlorine gas is released. So think about that. Mixing bleach with even lemon juice and vinegar, everybody. Think about how many people may have done that. 3, household bleach contains only 3 to 6% sodium hydrochloride because it is so caustic and dangerous. The remaining 94 to 97% volume of household bleach is water. Using bleach or a bleach solution actually provides one of the 3 ingredients necessary for mold growth and allows for the quick rebound of mold growth, usually within 24 hours or less. And the 4th reason is for bleach, not using bleach, is that bleach kills mold on non-porous surfaces, but not on porous surfaces, and does nothing to the spores that are in the air. When the sodium hypochlorite dissipates, usually within a few hours of application, then mold growth can rebound. Application of liquid bleach to porous mold-infested materials, such as wood, wallpaper, sheetrock, and the grout between bathroom tiles, will bleach the spore colonies and kill mold spores, but not all of the spores will be killed, and even dead spores can cause allergy symptoms. Studies into the impact mold and associated mycotoxins have on health will continue. Misinformation that suggests using bleach, toxic fungicides, and other toxic chemicals will continue. Misunderstandings and misinformation about the effectiveness of UV, ozone, and HEPA filters and misuse of these technologies will continue. But it is such a blessing to know that you can eliminate toxic mold and all the toxic chemicals and dangerous substances commonly used to control it with an all-natural 100% organic substance. Thieves. And I had to include this picture because a picture says 1,000 words. This has been a very well spread picture by, I think there was a lady in the States that did this, who performed this experiment with comparing thieves against other green or traditional cleaners, okay, for its ability to get rid of bacteria, etc. So check it out. Thieves oil, oregano oil, and thieves cleaner down the left-hand side compared to the others there. There's a control one there. And I include this because of the white vinegar. I've had people say, but I just use white vinegar and it's fine. And I'm like, I don't think so. And when you see evidence like this, please, please pay attention, because white vinegar is not doing much at all. All right, so let's talk about the science, because I know science is important, and I'm just going to, again, share a snippet, like a tip of the iceberg, because I don't have time. If I would have been here for hours if I had to go through everything with you. But the antimicrobial properties of essential oils have been known for many centuries. In recent years, that is 1987 to 2001, when this book was written, a large number of essential oils and their constituents have been investigated for their antimicrobial properties against fungi and bacteria in more than 500 reports. The majority of scientific studies identified show that the most effective essential oils with a broad range of antifungal action appear to be cinnamon, clove, lemongrass, oregano, and thyme. And I know there have been people that swear by clove, and don't get me wrong, clove is fantastic. It's got amazing properties, but it's only one essential oil that does. And we're talking about a whole range of constituents here that do the work. So I'm going to talk a bit more about these oils. So all of the oils I've just mentioned, cinnamon, clove, lemongrass, oregano, and thyme, are termed hot oils, meaning that they may cause irritation to skin, eyes, and mucous membranes, including nasal passages and lungs, if inhaled for extended periods of time. Oregano is a strong-smelling astringent oil that is known to irritate soft tissues and mucous membranes. Oregano oil was rejected because to be effective in a large room of approximately 800 square feet, the essential oil would have to be diffused in a space continuously for a substantial length of time. And this is when Dr. Close and his wife were looking to do experiments, scientific experiments, to really test out essential oils. Oregano is not a very appealing aroma for this kind of thing, and workers or inhabitants were not likely to tolerate this oil for an extended application. And he writes that thyme is also a strong-smelling astringent oil with many of the same characteristics as oregano, and yet it is more tolerable in small exposures. Cinnamon, clove, and lemongrass essential oil are also known to be strong-smelling and may irritate soft tissues and mucous membranes. However, the smell of these essential oils are much more appealing to most people than either oregano or thyme. And when combined with other essential oils, they can be quite pleasant. So, does it really matter if an essential oil is pure therapeutic grade? So, and I'm going to read again from this book because I want to give you the exact information that he shares. So there are several reasons why oils from Young Living were selected, and this is exactly from what Dr. Close and his wife have written. Having used oils from numerous companies over the years, Jackie had found that most oils were not high quality. That is Dr. Close's wife, and often were not pure, either being diluted, mislabeled, standardized, meaning that they have been manipulated by additions of other species of essential oils, or synthetically produced compounds, or adulterated. Because of this, results obtained were often found to be unpredictable. And they found that very few companies actually produced high quality essential oils. The following reasons are the reasons that essential oils from, it says, the company in Utah were selected. In the book, they had to be careful about naming Young Living, but we know, I'm telling you, it's Young Living. So number one, there's actually 4 reasons. Personal experience had proven that the essential oils from Young Living were of extremely high quality and purity. 2, Nicole Stevens, a scientist at Brigham Young University studying essential oils for use in treating cancer, reported at a 2004 conference in Salt Lake City, Utah, that she had conducted tests using essential oils she purchased from numerous companies and had even distilled her own oils from raw materials, but could not equal the quality of the essential oils acquired from Young Living. 3, there was ample anecdotal evidence that the blends of essential oils selected, and by the way, they selected 2 blends. One was called Purification and the other was Thieves, to test these out. In the book, it says EOB1, Essential Oil Blend 1, which is Purification, and EOB2, which is Thieves. But anyway, they were selectively used successfully to eliminate mold without side effects and were often reported by users to alleviate or reduce the symptoms associated with exposure to mold. And number 4, the last reason why Young Living was selected, their oils were selected, was that a supply of the oils and the household cleaner containing thieves were on hand. Therefore, there was no waiting time. They could test immediately. So those who have used a truly pure therapeutic grade essential oil or oils are horrified by the overabundance of commercials touting soaps, shampoos, perfumes, and air fresheners as aromatherapy. And there are more and more of them, if any of you have been paying attention, because it seems that, there are other companies hopping on the bandwagon here. What these commercials and hawking is nothing more than synthetic, chemically altered, and sometimes just plain toxic aroma. There is no therapy whatsoever in that commercially hyped toxic soup. Only a couple of companies in the United States sell what can truly be called pure therapeutic grade essential oils. And so when it comes to essential oils, buyer beware. To be absolutely clear, when we use the terms essential oils and therapeutic essential oils, and I'm reading from this book, they are referring to the lipid, the oil, soluble portion of the volatile aromatic compounds obtained by steam distillation and cold expression or cold pressing of certified organic plant materials, including the stems, branches, fruits, flowers, seeds, roots, bark, needles, leaves, and any other part of the plant, in a way that preserves the essential oil in a form that is as close to nature as the extraction process will permit. This definition also necessitates that the oil is a combination of compounds developed during the entire distillation process, that the oil has been distilled with loving care to avoid the high temperatures and pressures that might damage the more fragile constituents, and that every reasonable effort has been made to prevent contamination by synthetics, chemicals, preservatives, and cleansers in order to preserve the living energy and therapeutic benefits of the oil. And I say this, and I slowed down deliberately and said this with intent, because there are companies out there that are not distilling properly, and they are fractionally distilling. If any of you would like some information on that, also get in touch with me at the end. I'm not going to cover that right now, but it's very important to know that even though they might be using organic plant matter, if they are fractionally distilling an oil, they are not extracting the full range of constituents from that plant. So the essential oils found in books and department stores, in shops, I should say, and department stores, Christian bookstores, and even in most health food stores, are of uncertain quality at best. At worst, they can actually be harmful. Many times essential oils are mislabeled, not necessarily through a malevolent intent to defraud, but through ignorance or a rush to maximize profits. Most essential oil companies look for the lowest price with no thought to the quality of the oil. And that is why you hear about the great things essential oils can do, but when you try the ones at your local retail outlet, they often do not work. I don't know if any of you have had that happen. I have met many people that have told me that that has happened to them, and they're very skeptical as a result, which of course you would be. So that is about whether it matters. All right, so let's talk about preventing and eliminating mold. 10 steps. And following this presentation, by the way, I'm going to be uploading into our private forum group, our private Facebook group, a PDF that will actually have the 10 steps on it for people. And also I did share another couple of things as well in there in the files. So for the people that are watching, after this, you can go to the files section in our Facebook group and upload those PDFs, or download them, I should say, and print them off for your reference. So prevention is absolutely the best option. It will save you the most money. The cost of a diffuser and the essential oils blend is an investment in the health of you, your family, your pets, and or your employees, as well as in your property. If you do not have a mold problem and no mysterious or chronic illness, then prevent mold growth from becoming a problem by diffusing thieves for 15 to 30 minutes every 3-4 hours, maybe up or continuously for 8 hours in one hit, it says, in each room. Do monthly maintenance checks and immediately repair any leaks and eliminate excess moisture where necessary. The old familiar saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, can be paraphrased with, diffusing a few millimeters of thieves every week can save you thousands of dollars. And I'm going to share again from Dr. Close's book, straight from him and his wife. And I'm quoting here. Our personal experience is that diffusing thieves in our living space and offices has not only prevented the growth of mold and the potential costs associated with mold remediation, but has also saved us the misery of annual bouts with the flu, colds, bronchitis, sinusitis, and chronic allergies, almost entirely for the past 8 years. We suffered with all of these before we started diffusing this essential oil blend on a regular basis. And they talk about the fact they've saved the expense of many doctors' bills, as well as the cost of over-the-counter products and remedies. And they have enjoyed a higher quality of life. Because let's face it, life is more fun and far more productive when you are healthy. I know that for a fact because I have come from chronic ill health myself. So if you do have mold, how do you eliminate it and keep it from coming back? Now, this is a very simple outline. There is more information here that I can share. I can share with you the PDF. So for those people watching on Zoom, if you want to get in touch with me after this for me to send you the PDF, please do. But first you would sample, make sure of the mold that it isn't toxic mold. If it is toxic mold, then you've got to go down the toxic mold path. So you find out what's going on, what kind of mold you've got going on, diffusing them. And we'll talk about the diffuser in a minute, the kind of diffuser you need, because this is what people need to understand. You are not to use a diffuser with water if you want to get rid of the mold spores effectively. Repair leaks, clean thoroughly. And then if you have toxic mold, if the report comes back and you've got toxic mold, then you would begin intensive diffusion with thieves oil. Remove, repair, and replace all affected areas. And then Dr. Close suggests you resample, and then you repeat through steps 1 through to 7 if necessary. You refinish all affected areas. So you would need to do whatever is necessary. Maybe you might need to remove furniture. You might need to, if there's furniture, it depends how long the mold has been an issue. If it's really seeped into the material, the wood or what have you, you may need to actually remove it completely and dispose of it and replace it. And then diffusing regularly, all right, to then protect and prevent anything from reoccurring. So which diffuser is best to use? So a cold air diffuser that utilizes a non-reactive metal well to hold the essential oil, a glass nebulizer to disperse the oil into a microfine mist, and an air pump that forces the oil into and through the nebulizer. This is what you need. This type of diffuser will provide a concentrated micro mist of essential oil at a high dispersion rate and will permeate the air in a space of just a matter of minutes. Now, what you see pictured here, I'll talk about a bit more as we go. This diffuser was developed by Gary Young. It's an old-fashioned diffuser. It's one of the first he developed for specifically this cause, this reason. And this one is called the Diffuser Complete. It is a bit fiddly to use. I haven't personally got one. I've got another one, which I'll show you in a minute. But this one, Young Living have actually brought back recently. For those members that are watching, the Young Living members that I've got on here, you will not see this in any printed material because they haven't made it, they haven't actually advertised that it's back, but you will find this on the website. And the reason why they haven't advertised it, I believe, is because they've only got a certain number in stock because it's these aren't all that common anymore. So I think they've been able to acquire a certain number from the States for people that really, really need them. So the kind of diffuser you need utilizes a pad or wicking device. Oh, sorry. No, not that you need. Sorry, my error. Diffusers that these are the ones that will not work. Sorry about that mistake. So if they utilize a pad or wicking device of any kind, they are not going to be as effective as the pad or wicking device absorbs a small portion of the essential oil. Diffusers that utilize heat or water are not going to be effective because heat destroys the most fragile organic compounds. And a diffuser that uses water and or heat does not disperse adequate amounts of the essential oils to be effective for mold prevention and remediation. It's the same with diffusers that have an electric air pump to force cold air through the well of oil. Now, that isn't to say, we have in our house, we have a diffuser in every room that uses water. I love water diffusers because they're amazing for health in other ways. But if we're talking about mold specifically, it's very important that you understand the difference. Now, pictured here is the Aromalux diffuser. These are now, sad to say, completely gone. There are no more left in Australia. They have all sold out. There were a handful left until about 10 days ago. Not that many people knew that. But globally, these are now gone. This has been discontinued. I share this picture because if you have one like I do, this is one that you can use. This actually, the little top lifts off and you put the essential oil bottle, you actually screw it on underneath it, and it literally has a little, what would you call it, a little tube that literally brings the oil up and puts it into a fine mist into the air. So if you already have one of these, treat it like gold. It is amazing. Now, for those of you that might be watching this, might be thinking, oh no, what's going on? I'm not going to be able to get anything like that again. I have heard, and it's through the grapevine, it's nothing official from the company, but I have heard a rumor that Young Living are reformulating or, redesigning a diffuser like this. Okay, so they're working on something. I don't know how long away it is. It might be a year, it might be 2. I have no idea. Okay, but I share this just in case people do have one of these to know that this was also developed by Gary Young. And there are no other diffusers out there that do this. It's either the Aromalux or the diffuser complete. Okay, so I can't believe it. We're going pretty well for time. I thought it was going to take a lot longer than this, so this is great. So let's talk about some basics that you'll need if you are keen to prevent mold or sort out a mold issue. So I'm going to run you through some various options, and I do this because I want people to understand and make the best choice possible for them. So the diffuser complete. Now, you'll see in the picture here a little bronze one. You see the base there is bronze. The item number of that is 366002. The green item, and it's a mint, apparently it's like a soft minty green color, is 366202. So one digit difference. Now, when I'm going to warn you, everybody, when you go on the website and you can't find it, it won't be listed. It won't be listed in any price list or product guide. But when you go on the website, if you actually type this in and find it, when you look at the pictures for each one, they've basically got stock pictures, I think, from the US. You'll see when it shows the green one, it shows the same picture as the bronze. So you'll see the bronze base, but know that if you order the green one, you'll receive a minty green colored base, okay? The other little thing you see there, it looks like a computer mouse, is actually the power source, okay? It looks like a computer mouse, but it's the power source. And by the way, so everyone is aware too, I have uploaded in our private Facebook group a brochure. It was a bit, again, this isn't on the website, but I've managed to acquire this. I think it's a 2-page PDF. It's a brochure explaining how to use the diffuser complete. Alrighty. Okay. Thieves, a 15 ml bottle is going to be the way to go because it's the most economical way to buy Thieves. Cost per drop, okay? The wholesale price is $59.75. All the prices I give you here is wholesale. If you buy retail, you're paying 24% more. So do the math. I have not done that. I've not done the math for tonight, but do the math if you want to do the math. PV, by the way, is a points thing, and it's equivalent to US dollars. So when we're talking PV, it'll make more sense in a minute for those of you that don't know what that term means. Okay, the Thieves household cleaner, and this is really important because I had a lady contact me a few weeks ago, and she said she was using the Thieves essential oil to clean her walls, etc. And I'm like, that is a very expensive way to clean your house, and probably won't work as well, to be honest, because the Thieves household cleaner has been developed for that reason. So the two options people have, there's a 1.8 litre bottle, and if you look at the price of that wholesale, it's $146.25. And you might be thinking, whoa, that's a lot of money. But I'm going to share with you that it is highly, highly concentrated. And you literally can eradicate every other chemical cleaner you own. You can bin them all and replace it with this plant-based, organic, amazing cleaning product. And one capful, if you're buying the 1.8 litre bottle, equates to 57 cents Australian per capful. Now, one cap makes a half a litre cleaner, a general purpose spray. And that is what I use in my bedroom. Now, Saturday, I did that, and it's Monday night. There's been no recurrence yet. I'm keeping a close eye on it. There's been nothing. So we'll see what happens, but I'm confident that it's gone completely on the surface of what I cleaned. And then we have the Thieves household cleaner, the 426 ml bottle. That is $39.90 wholesale. Again, these are wholesale prices. So if you're looking at retail, you add 24%. And that works out to be 66 cents per capful. Okay. Still an amazing price considering you can make a half litre cleaning spray for that. 66 cents. Now, I've been shopping. I used to buy, the so-called safe brands and, the organic brands, etc. of cleaners, and you're paying in some health stores that $9, $13 for, half litre or a litre of cleaning spray. So compare it to that. You don't compare it to the toxic stuff because you're not comparing it to the same stuff, okay? I have people saying, but Windex is so much cheaper or whatever they're comparing it to. I'm like, but you can't compare it because it's not the same. It's completely different. That's synthetic toxic rubbish. This isn't. All right, so if you are looking to buy not just one thing, but you want to get started with some kind of pack, what Young Living have done, they used to become a member, to start your own account and open a wholesale account, you used to have to start with a starter bundle. That is no longer the case. They've opened it right up, which is amazing. And you can order whatever you like to 100 PV. Okay, so that's a points thing, 100 PV. And that kicks off a wholesale account. You do not have to do a monthly order. I want to make that very clear, everybody. You are under no obligation to place a monthly order. You are under no obligation to on-sell or do the business. There's never any pressure. I have some people really afraid of that, and I let them know, no, of course not. And there is no catch. There are no fees or charges that you have to pay to be a member. It's just literally you buy some product for yourself. That's it. Okay. So here are some options. I want to give people basically your top options. So if you wanted to get your hands on a diffuser complete, again, I don't know how many are in stock. I've been told that it's a limited number, which is why they haven't advertised it widely. But just say you want to get the Thieves oil, I would recommend a 15 ml bottle, the Thieves household cleaner, and I'm explaining here like cost per mil, the best value for money, the best bang for your buck. Okay. So Thieves, a 1.8 litre bottle of a household cleaner with the 15 ml bottle and the diffuser complete. comes to $380.75 Australian, which is $163.80. And I want you to think long term. I want you to think big picture here in terms of investment for your health. Okay. There's also a beautiful lifestyle collection now. This is very, very popular, called the Nature's Home Essentials collection. This isn't like a starter bundle. Any member can buy this, by the way. So if you're looking at this and you've already got an account, you can buy this one, no problem. You can buy anything I mention here, no problem. That one is 100 PV, so it opens up a wholesale account for somebody. It's $199.75. You add whatever postage onto it. I can't remember how much the postage is. It depends on what you order. And you'll see there, it doesn't come with the diffuser. So you may already have a diffuser, but you get a 5 ml bottle of Thieves oil. You get Thieves household cleaner. You get a beautiful glass bottle, like spray bottle, and that has measurements on it as well. You get the fruit and veggie soak, the laundry liquid, and again, a little goes a very long way with all these products. Thieves foaming, the dish soap, foaming hand soap, whitening toothpaste, and a fantastic fridge magnet, which has recipes on it. Okay, so that's one option as well. Now, last option that I would look at if I was somebody like starting and looking, to sort out the mold issue and they want products for that reason, is the Healthy Home Starter Bundle. This offers the most savings. Okay. So you do get a diffuser. It is a water diffuser. It's a very popular one called the Desert Mist. You get 6 essential oils in there: Thieves, Stress Away, I think it's Purification, Peppermint, Lemon, and Lavender. You get a little mini Thieves spray, a Thieves hand purifier, the laundry soap there. I'm going right to left now. The laundry soap, a 426 ml bottle of the Thieves household cleaner, the foaming hand soap in the front, the Thieves fruit and veggie soak in the back, the dish soap, the whitening toothpaste, some Ningxia sachets. If you don't know about all these, don't you worry. If you get them and the person you join through will give you information, I can tell you. And you'll see there too a little black Aroma Glide fitment. That's a little roll-on that you can actually turn any essential oil bottle into a roll-on. Okay, very handy to have. All right. So a lot of people have said to me over the years, but I don't know if I'm going to use them all. And I say, you will. As you learn, as you step into this and you learn what these can do, you're going to use them. And so for any of you that might be considering this and thinking, well, I'm not really sure if I should, invest and get, start a membership, or if I should just order through someone else. The benefit of starting your own membership and having your own membership is A, you get to order whenever you like and get it delivered straight to you. You don't have to go through another person. B, you get access, if you're joining our group, okay, in someone who's invited you, get in touch with them or me after this, you get access to our Facebook group and all the information that comes with it. It's been going now, 5 or 6 years. There are regular webinars, and it is the education about these products that make all the difference, everybody. It makes all the difference. And I speak from experience because I had oils for a year and I didn't know what I was doing with them. It was 2 years later that I started learning about what to do with them, and I was gobsmacked. And I would never have known what I didn't know. So to make the best decision for you, if you're interested, get in touch with the person that invited you to this. If you're not sure, if you don't have a person in Young Living, get in touch with me. I'll give you my details at the end. But I do need to also run through this, and I have forgotten to do this in the past, and I apologize to people if I have forgotten to do this. I do need to mention this because Young Living are just the most generous company. They've got the best loyalty program on the planet. It is the best. It's like flybys on steroids, basically. If people do choose to do what's called an essential rewards order, so that's what ER stands for. If they order, it depends on how much they order each month, they get given extra freebies on top of rewards points back. So they'll get points back towards free products, 10% back for the first 3 months, then jumps to 20% from the 4th month. And then 2 years in, it jumps to a whopping 25%. This is massive, everybody, massive. But on top of that, if people order, say a 145 PV you know, they place an order of that amount, they will get this month a extra Thieves Essential Oil, 5 ml Thieves Essential Oil. If they place an order that ends up being 190 PV or more, they receive a Thieves Oil plus a Peace and Calming too. And then the list goes on. So you see there at the 320 PV mark, they're receiving, if you can see this, a 426 ml bottle of Thieves Household Cleaner with some Luscious Lemon Hand Lotion and extras like Crystal Diffuser, plus everything else you see there. So this is something to know about in case it interests you. It's only for people who do a monthly order though, but I do show people this so they understand, because just in case they're interested. So we're doing really well for time. Whoop, whoop, we've kept it inside the hour. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please get in touch with me after this if you're joining this and you don't already have somebody in Young Living who can help you get started. If you, by the way, if you decide, yep, I'm going to go on the website, I'm going to enroll, I'm going to become a member, and you do not add somebody's brand partner ID or member ID number, you will be automatically connected to somebody. You'll go into what's called a placement program, and you'll be given to somebody randomly. Now, that's all well and good. If you know someone, please use their number, because they'll be able to support you, give you ongoing support and education about these products. I have met numerous people over the years that have joined, and the people they've been connected to, for whatever reason, have not supported them, and they haven't known what they're doing with the products. If you're going to invest the money in these products, invest the time, learn about them, make sure you are with someone who will support you if you can, because it makes all the difference. So also what you see here is a picture of the reference book that I referred to tonight. It is available from Amazon. For anybody watching this in our Dreamcatchers group, if you are interested, if you would like this book, it's got, by the way, 20 case studies. There's a whole lot more in it than what I shared, but it's got 20 case studies about mold with all the science and the data and everything. It is comprehensive, let me tell you. There is so much in it. If that floats your boat, if you want to know all the science and you really dig all that, I have one copy available. I've got a spare one. When I didn't order just one, I ordered two. So if you would like to buy that, let me know. I will literally be, you'll be buying it for the same money that I bought it for. I will not be making any money from selling that book. I do this just to help people. So if you are interested, get in touch. I'll let you know how much that is. And if I need to post it to you, I'll post it to you. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I would love to hear your feedback about what you thought about this. This recording will be available for about a week. I will keep it available. And then with my Zoom account, I can only hold so much in the memory. And I am running another Zoom down the track. So I will need to clear this. So it's available for about a week. Okay. Again, if you've got any questions, please get in contact with either myself. I'm on Facebook and Messenger. You can find me. I'm not hard to find. Or the person that invited you to this. All right. Thanks again, everybody, and take care. Bye. Okay, I've just stopped the live stream.